fam. Hey, Facebook family. Welcome to another live stream. I hope you all are having an amazing day. Thank you so much for the love on my posts recently. I have been posting and doing lives because I'm really trying to get this message out to y'all that um we are purposed to profit, right? So that is like my goal is to help Black women entrepreneurs get out of their own way and get started to launching their coaching programs. This filter on Instagram is giving me, I don't know what it's giving me, but I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm not going to stop it because then I would have to go back and start over. And I don't want to do that. So anyway, anywho, thank you guys for joining. Today, we are going to be talking about the fact that making money does not have to be hard. So I am going to break all of our myths about making money, including some that I had myself. So I'm live on Facebook and I'm live on Instagram. If you are following me on Instagram and you are not in my Black Girl Coach Collective, come on, sis, join us. We're having a good time in there. And if you are on Facebook and you don't follow me on Instagram, like follow me on the gram. I do stories basically all the time that kind of go behind the scenes of my life and my business. Okay, so let's start off with how I used to think this like online business thing was going to work. Okay, so I was of the belief that making money was hard. If you are watching this on the replay, I want you to give me like throw some hearts on the screen, give me an emoji, a like, something if you have also had that limiting belief. And I think it's because of the way we're raised in this country, especially as Black people, especially as Black women. Like our parents would say things to us like, money doesn't grow on trees. And if you want to make money, you have to work hard. And so I always, and I'm a physician. So it took me years and years and years to get to this point of making an income. And it was hard. It was hard being like going through college, going through med school, going through residency, losing sleep. Like it was hard. So there was nothing in my life that was telling me that making money wasn't hard. Everything in my life was telling me that making money was hard. So when I went ahead and started my business, there was nothing to say that my business would be any different. So I set up my business in such a way that I made it hard for myself to make money. Let me explain. Let me explain. And the reason I even thought about this is that I was working with my coaching clients recently on their pricing for their business. And that was something, and I'll do another whole live stream about pricing another day. But I was just reflecting on the way that I set up my business in the beginning. Money beliefs can be generational obstacles in certain cultures. Absolutely. I think definitely in my culture, I'm a Black American and my family is from Jamaica. What's the stereotype? What's the like joke that you used to see on like In Living Color and basically all over the place, right? About Jamaicans. It's that Jamaicans have 5 jobs, right? Like that was the stereotype. And the stereotype was born out of the fact that when Jamaicans would come to America, they would often get multiple jobs. And so I saw very many people in my family doing that, including my mother at one point, right? Working multiple jobs to make a better life for her family, right? So again, everything in my life told me that making money was hard. So I set up my business in such a way that I made it hard for me to make money. Let me explain. So what I would Sorry about that. So what I would do is I would do make things really, really complicated for myself. So I would, so in the beginning I was in consumption mode, right? So I was like reading all the books, watching all the YouTube videos, all the podcasts, I was taking the master classes, right? And so I was seeing coaches and entrepreneurs do these elaborate launches, not understanding the behind the scenes that they have a team, they have money because they've been doing this for years and years. Like I'm thinking, I'm like putting myself on the same page as them and wondering why, like I want to do this too. Like I want to launch, I want to have, complicated funnels and do challenges that lead to, six-figure launch. Like I set up things and I made it really complicated, and I would do these like elaborate and intricate email sequences. I was doing all the things that I saw people do that I on the surface didn't quite understand, right? Because I didn't understand the mechanism behind it. I didn't understand that they didn't start that way. They didn't start that way, right? Like their starting point was very different from what they were doing now, but I didn't see that. So I was mimicking what I saw. And so what that led to was really me being, number one, stressed out because I'm trying to do like put all these pieces together and I didn't even fully understand what the pieces were to put together. Like what are we doing? I don't know, right? But I was doing all the things. So I made it complicated for myself. And then I also, in addition to that, I sort of there was a little bit of a separation between myself and my community because again, I wasn't really getting in their DMs, having conversations with them. I was like too busy setting up my funnel and setting up, all the tech, right? And if you have been following me for a while, then you know I've had some tech issues. It's been a whole situation, right? I have had so many tech issues. I truly believe that that was God being like, stop with all this tech, like make it simple. But I didn't see that, right? So I would get really frustrated. I had VAs that weren't working for me. Go back and listen to some episodes last year. I talk about all of this, right? The sun is like, oh, I talk about all of this. I was just all over the place, right? And it wasn't until I simplified what I was doing and changed this limiting belief based on the actions that I was doing that really allowed me to see that making money is not hard. So, my very first coaching program cost $997 for 8 weeks. 8 weeks of coaching twice a week. So I would show up twice a week. So really it was like 16 sessions plus 2 one-on-one calls. Plus I would review all of their work, all for $997. Okay. And in the beginning, I was like, how am I going to charge this? Is anyone going to buy it? Um, and and then I, was thinking this weekend that, I hosted a training in which I charged also $997. And thinking about the amount of work and not work, because it's work when you're working with clients, like period, right? Um, oh, that's way too low. This is not Yes, this was low. This is not what we're doing in the Black Girl Coach Collective. Okay, this is not what we're doing if we're in the Pop Squad. We are high ticket. That's way too low. Way too low. I was burning myself out. But I was reflecting on it because this weekend I charged $997 for a program that was essentially several hours. And I barely marketed that program because things have been very busy. And I made, a significant profit. And it wasn't necessarily hard. It was work, but it wasn't hard, right? And it just got me thinking that I have had to change my beliefs about making money. So I want to submit to you, my coaches and aspiring coaches in my community, I want to submit to you that making money does not have to be hard. Making a lot of money does not have to be hard in your business. It doesn't. And me doing this, so in 2021, there's been a significant shift in my business, whereby I am having consistent 5-figure months. I have not launched any complicated funnels. I have barely sent emails about my program. I send my newsletter every week about the podcast and I include a little bit about the program, but haven't done like crazy funnel stuff. Um, and we all have a funnel. Like, I'll do a live about that. We all have a funnel. It's just that my funnel is simplified, right? I simplified all of my processes. I got rid of a lot of the tech that I used to use that was really holding me back. And now I have an even more profitable business. I was profitable before, but now I am significantly more profitable just by doing the things that I'm going to tell you in just a second. So, the first thing I just want you to understand, and when you watch this, whenever you watch this or hear it, I want you to either write it down or type it in the chat. Making money is not hard. Making money is not hard. There's another like really significant issue, especially if you live in America. We used to be property, right? So like that's a huge part of why we have this whole notion of like making money. We tie money to our self-worth, and it becomes like this hard thing. It's been perpetuated, right, over the years because of where we started in this country. Yes, Dr. Melissa, making money is not hard. I don't believe that making money is not hard though. You don't believe it's not hard. Is that what you're saying? It's not hard. Making money is not hard. Making money is not hard. I want to explain to you why I'm saying that, though. I want to explain to you why I'm saying that. It can be hard if we make it hard, but it can also be very, very easy and simple. It can be hard. And I'm a testament. My first 9 months, it was very hard. Can you let me know who you are? I can't see your face, or I'll circle back later. Um, do we have the same life? Possibly. One of my Instagram followers said, yes, indeed. Do we have the same life? Yeah, no, it can be hard. It can be hard, but it can also be easy. It can also be easy. Let me break it down for you, right? Yes, we're here for the easy and simple. Exactly. We're here for the easy and simple. Let me break it down for you. Let me show you how it can be easy. Because I get it. I get it. Everything in our life. Like I knew when I sat down, um, when I sat down to do this live stream, I knew like I may have to come back and we may have to readdress this because I know that this is like a huge belief that I believe though is really standing in our way of having the impact that we want to have in this world as entrepreneurs. As entrepreneurs, our job is to make money in order to solve someone's problems. And so, or to solve someone's problems in exchange for money, right? Like that's what we do. And so if we set up barriers, right? If we believe that making money is hard, what we're going to do is we're going to even unconsciously set up barriers toward our progress and toward our success in doing that. And it's going to be a hindrance to us making an impact. The women in my community, I say it all the time, you guys are heart-centered. Yes, I do. Sylvie, hey girl, hey, I see you. Hi. Um, the women in my community, we are heart-centered entrepreneurs. Like we want to make a difference and we want to have an impact and leave a legacy. And so if we truly believe that making money is hard, that is going to really impede us and stop us. I'm not making money. This is why I think this. Or is it that it's hard because I don't believe it? Exactly. So I believe that if you believe that making money is hard, you will consciously or unconsciously place barriers. So let me give you an example. That's what I was doing in all of 2020. I was placing barriers between myself and the money, right? Like I made things so complicated that I didn't even understand what I was doing. Like I couldn't even understand it. I couldn't even track what I was doing, what was going on in the business, which email is supposed to be sent when. And it was just like all over the place, right? It was all over the place because I made it complicated. And once I simplified my business process and made it about these three things that I'm about to share with you, that's when the money came in consistently, right? And again, I still had that belief even when I changed. Like, even when I started doing these things, I still didn't really believe it. But I always say you can mind anything you put your do to. You can change your mindset by changing your actions. You can mind anything you put your do to. Not you can do anything you put your mind to. I believe you can mind anything you put your do to. Geez, Instagram, my phone is dying. Like, I'm trying to get this message out here. Let me just keep going. Okay. So the first thing that I did, the first thing that I had to do to change that belief, right? To change my mindset, right? Was I had to make the decision that I was going to serve my clients at a higher level and at a higher price point. So I'm going to come back to that though. That is number 1. So I made that decision. But before I got there, let me tell you what I did. So before I was able to make that decision, what did I do? I clarified and I clearly defined the transformational process and promise. So the process and the promise in my coaching program. I clearly defined the transformational process and promise in my coaching program. And then I priced my program based off of that transformational process and promise. What do I mean by that? I stopped saying things like, well, I'm a new coach. People aren't going to pay me a lot of money. I need to, I need to start low and then go up as, I get new people, as I get testimonials or as I get experience. Do you feel me? Like, have you had that thought? If you're watching or on Instagram or on Facebook and you've had that thought, let me know. Like, I have to start off low because I'm a new coach, right? And then as I gain experience and testimonials and get certifications, hello somebody, then I'll raise my prices. And I said, absolutely. So I see someone saying, yup, yeah. And I said, no. Once I price, I'm going to start pricing based on, not off of my experience, like the amount of experience. I'm going to price based off of the transformational process and promise of my program. So my program, Purpose to Profit, helps professional Christian women develop, package, position, and launch their very first high ticket group coaching program, and helps you to stand out using the power of your unique story. So I'm helping women get out of their own way. That's number 1, right? Number 2, I'm helping you to figure out and develop your own intellectual property. I'm teaching you foundational sales principles that are going to help you get in front of your dream ideal clients and sell, and not sell in a sleazy way. We're going to story sell just like Jesus did, because that's what we do, right? We tell stories and we sell based on our stories and based on the transformational process and promise, right? Like, I help women do that. Like, by the end, you have your business assets, right? So by the end, you have your business assets in place. You are going to have not only your program built, but you're going to have your intellectual property that's going to be the foundation for your books, your speaking engagements, your future program. Like, how much of a price tag can we place on something that is going to generate income, help you build a legacy for years and years to come, like it's doing for my clients? Not only that, I actually help you launch your very own podcast within my program. So you leave my program with a podcast. You leave my program. I mean, hello, somebody, right? Like, very few programs take you through that entire process. There's programs for podcasting, there's programs for intellectual property. Mine has all of that. And so, what I had to do was I had to say, I'm no longer going to price my programs based on, oh, well, I only have, I've only been coaching a year. That doesn't matter. I get results for my clients and for myself. I get results, right? I get results for my clients. Period. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay, sorry, Instagram fam. My husband was trying to reach me. So should I not price my program based off of that, right? So that was number one. I clearly defined the transformational process and promise of my program. And then I priced based off of that. I made the decision to price based off of that transformation that I provide. That's really invaluable, but if we're going to put a price tag on it, right? Um, Make it high ticket. And then the third thing, so those were the first two things. The third thing I did was I simplified everything, got rid of all of the tech mumbo jumbo, and got in my clients' DMs and started having conversations. Not very many people realize and understand that having high level conversations with your community is basically, you're basically selling. Oh, I'm going to add one more thing. I'm going to add a number 4. Okay. I'm going to add a number 4. So we're talking about the 3 things I've done. I'm going to add a number 4. But I started having conversations, consistent conversations with my people in my community. That's what I started doing. And once I did that, it was like, right? People started signing up. People started saying yes. And here's the thing, when you have a high ticket program, it doesn't take a lot of people. So I stopped playing in the mass market of trying to grow my following and get hundreds of people and to join, right? I stopped doing that. And I started getting really deep with a few. I went deep with a few people. And that is what led to conversions. Consistent conversations lead to conversions. Period, period, period. Consistent conversations are what lead to conversions. So if you're not talking to your dream clients and talking to your ideal clients, you're missing out on the opportunity that you have to show them your transformational process and promise so that they can say yes, right? A sales call is nothing but a conversation that, I mean, yes, there's a script and there's a whole thing, and this part of what I teach my clients, but you don't start the sale on the sales call. And that's why I wanted to add number 4. I got out of my own way and started showing up and selling consistently. I'm selling right now, right? I'm selling right now. If I had a brick and mortar store, I would have a sign on my door that says open. I don't have a brick and mortar store. I have an online intellectual property business. I'm selling my knowledge. So the only way I can open my door is by doing things like this, sharing my ideas, my expertise, my knowledge, breaking down, myths that my ideal clients have, showing them a new way of thinking about things. And so once I started doing that consistently as well, that's when I moved the needle to having those consistent months. Sylvie asks, how do you have the conversations? So I have conversations. I have DM conversations. I teach my clients how to have DM conversations. So you can be getting in the DMs of your ideal target audience and your dream clients. And that is how you start having those conversations. Um, You can do Zoom calls as well. I typically reserve my Zoom calls for my next step calls or my sales calls when I'm actually, having a sales conversation. But I have sold over the DM as well. And I have my like signature process for selling over the DM. But like you can just start having those conversations in the inbox of your people. And guess what? If they're your people, they will respond. It will not be weird. And we make it authentic. We don't just show up in random people DMs and say, hey, you want to buy my stuff? That's weird. That's used car salesmanish. And that's not where we want to be, right? So we use our content to qualify our community, our leads, our folks, right? Our people. We use our content to do that, to pre-qualify them, right? So you guys know who I serve. I serve professional women of faith who want to start a coaching business. Like that's who I serve, right? And then I also pre-qualify by sharing the way I think about things so that when I get on a call with you, it's less about selling and it's more about just, you know, just making it official. Making it official. Consistent conversations lead to conversions. Exactly. Exactly. Consistent conversations lead to conversions. So. I know I'm going to have to come back and talk about this more, but I just want to say it does not have to be hard. It really doesn't. Making money doesn't have to be hard. And I believe we should be making money. So I'm going to keep talking about it. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. It's even uncomfortable for me. Like even as a physician, we're taught not to talk about the money stuff. Like we treat the patients, we leave that money stuff to the side. Like I don't want to talk about it. But I think it's important and I'm going to keep talking about it because when Black women, when women of faith, when we have more money, we will make a difference in this world. Period, point blank. So I'm going to keep showing up, even though my inner cave woman is like, girl, why you keep talking about money? Why are you doing that? I don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to keep talking about it because I want you all to have a profitable business so you can have an impact and leave a legacy. That's what I want for you guys. So I'll be back. I will be back. We will talk about this some more. Leave your questions, comments. If you don't believe me, if you're just like, girl, what you talking about? Making money is not easy. I want to know so we can talk about it more so I can have a conversation with you about it. I want to convince you that it can be easy. It can be hard if we make it hard, but we can also make it easy. Bye, guys. Have a blessed day. Peace and love.